So in the past, the United Kingdom joined the European Union, but decided not to adopt the euro currency. Why is that the case? And what were the advantages of doing it that way? Let's take a look. So historically speaking, the United Kingdom joined the European Union to allow free flow of people and goods, but they decided to keep their own currency. What's the advantages of having a common currency have been looked at in the past, but it's this idea that if you have this common currency between countries, well, then you know that there can't be any fluctuations in currency value over time, which makes trade very easy, because if you're buying product from Spain and you're in the United Kingdom, well, then you know that if their price doesn't change, your cost is really always the same. Whereas if there's this fluctuation in currency and their currency goes up in value, well, all of a sudden for you that have depreciated in value, your currency relative to theirs, well, that same product, even if it hasn't changed in price, is now costlier. So it makes it harder to have all of these transactions happen without any of this uncertainty. So that's one of the reasons why you want to have that common currency, is to make it easy for this free flow of goods without having any exchange rate kind of danger, we can say. But what's the disadvantage, and why didn't they choose to be part of the euro? Well, as soon as you join a common currency, for one currency, there could only be one central bank that controls the monetary policy for that country, and therefore you give up that potential. And as soon as you do that, that one central bank has to try to make decisions that is for the best of the whole union. So that whole Eurozone, you might have some countries that are suffering, that are in a small recession, other countries are booming. They have to decide on an interest rate that applies to the general situation. Same thing as in Canada, when central bank adopts certain policies, they're doing it for the whole of Canada. You might have certain provinces that would prefer interest rates to stay higher, and some of the provinces that would prefer for interest rates to lower, but you could only have one interest rate for the whole country. So here, by the United Kingdom not joining the European Union, they were able to conduct their own monetary policy, which meant that if they were going through a small recession, they could rely on monetary policy and not just fiscal policy. So if you want to be able to use both tools to get out of a recession, you have to have your own currency. So if Canada were to join the EU for some reason, if they were to join the EU and take the currency, we would lose our monetary policy independence. We would have some say in terms of that European Central Bank's policy, but it wouldn't be as clear and direct to the goals and incentives of Canadians than to all of that European Union. So there's a difference between joining the European Union and having the currency. And in the past, now through Brexit, the United Kingdom is no longer part of the European Union, but they had kind of that midpoint of being part of it, but not part of the currency. And the reason for that was to keep independence on their currency to allow them to conduct monetary policy. So hopefully you could understand the distinction, the advantages of joining and the disadvantages of joining another country's currency, in terms of advantage being easier trade, disadvantage no longer able to use monetary policy on your own. Have a good day. If you found this video interesting, please consider subscribing or joining my class where I guide you to apply and expand on the information found in these videos to real-life examples. Have a good day.